Hey, everybody. As always, if you offend easily, shoo! Shoo! I mean it. I'm actually having a little trouble getting into the flow of my reading today, folks. So if Auntie Rosie is just a bit skip and I apologize in advance, but I'm not actually sorry. This is just what you get. Thorns and all. Yeah, I got it. I got me a sign. It's actually a really nice sign, too. So I'm happy about that. Today I've got a special deck to read to y'all with, and I have my cup of rose tea. Gotta have the good stuff. And I do mean made from the roses in my garden. And if y'all didn't know, now y'all are about to know that rose tea is an excellent source of vitamin C. So don't drink it every day. It's not messing around. It'll upset your stomach. All right? Personally, I like to mix mine with a bit of coffee and cream to kind of balance out the more floral tones of that. Still adjusting palette wise. Before I get into the reading, I have got to tell y'all a story. This is one of my husband's favorites. It's one of the more interesting readings I've done. I don't want to get too intense, but I'm afraid I have to because it's just that odd of a reading. This legitimately was something that went down. I don't know how much of this guy might have been bullshit because it's that outlandish, but we're gonna let y'all decide this. All right. This is what I interacted with. So if y'all have never done it, if y'all do readings and y'all have not gotten this opportunity, you really want to avoid reading for someone who's obsessed. Obsessed people, ooh, that reading gets painful. Eventually, I had to refuse to read for this guy anymore because it was a lot. We're talking obsessed people will call you multiple times a day to find out if the slightest little minuscule thing they've done has had a big butterfly ripple effect that has magically given them what they wanted. And no amount of trying to tell them, no, honey, this is what's best. They don't want to hear that. They only want to hear what they want to hear. And it gets a lot. This guy was so obsessed with his ex, who had moved on with a new fiance, but occasionally gave him the mercy toss. Y'all know what I mean. As well as the occasional I need something from you, here's a toss. Okay? So this poor guy had just enough string around him to hold on to his obsession, and he took it to the nth degree. Oh my God, folks. All right, so amidst a bunch of things I could tell y'all about this particular client, I'm going to settle on this one. He was so obsessed with knowing what was going on between her and her fiance that anytime he was in her vehicle, he would swap out a cell phone that he left on to record her when he was not in the car. And obviously it would die, but he would get some conversations and he would hear enough, and he would switch these phones out regularly. And she never found them, apparently, because when he would blow up at her for private conversations she had, and this was the part that got me, when he would blow up at her for things she said in a private conversation with her fiance, and she wanted to know, how do you know this? Y'all, he had convinced her that he had a buddy in NASA. That he had a buddy in NASA that has the ability to get into her phone and hear her. And that this buddy was listening in for him and telling him things. Why this was a logical explanation enough for her. Because she bought it, apparently, according to him. Don't know how true that is, but I'm sorry, I'd have been tearing up that car from the get-go. That would have been the first place I went. Instead of, oh, you have a buddy in NASA. I believe that. Like, who believes that? Ah, y'all. Okay, like the crazy is real. All right. So I just wanted to share that. And there's so many stories about that one that I could tell, but we're going to just settle for that one because I don't. Yeah, I'm trying not to. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to leave it at that and just get to a reading for y'all. So, this deck is an oracle deck. It's not a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck, which means it doesn't follow, it's a different amount of cards. There's different types of meanings and things like that. It even comes with the book. Have to read with the book. Well, not necessarily have to, but it comes with extra information in the book. Although an oracle card usually has its messages right there on the card for you. Okay. So this one, as you saw, the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. All right. And I highly recommend this one. I'm not a big oracle person. Not a big oracle person, but this deck, it was a gift from a client. Kudos. Thank y'all so much for that one. And it connected with me right away. Now it's been a hot while since I've used this deck, and I've actually been fooling with it for a little bit before I started this video. So it should have my energy by now, and I'd like to see if it gives me a message. And I usually, with an oracle deck, will do just a simple 3-card message. So I'd like to see what we get. Share that with y'all, all right? So I'm going to lay them out. Ah. Ah. Okay. Yeah, this feels appropriate. Now, some people will sit there and tell you, it's an oracle deck. It's kind of vague and open, much more so than even a tarot deck. But I don't know. This makes sense to me. So let's show y'all. Move this. I got a new stand, so yeah. Y'all ready? Orca Magic. The Akashic Library's open. So yeah, I mean, sorry for the finger there. Kind of self-explanatory. I mean, I could go read in the book. I'm not inclined to want to go read in the book with y'all because it's a lot of reading and I don't want this to be an ultra long video again, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Hey, there's knowledge. There's powerful knowledge. The Akashic Library is open. I think the fact that I'm starting to do tarot readings and psychic readings and stuff again after, y'all, 2 years since I really sat and did a good reading. So I think the fact that I'm starting to get into those again, it's telling me that the knowledge I want is still there and available to me, and that warms my heart. All right. So let's get to the next one. The Fairy Bee. My life is sweet. I struggle with depression. All right. I struggle with depression. I struggle with my own bipolarism. I have recently went through, here, I'm going to get a little personal with y'all. I went through a big wave of perimenopausal fit that left me really, I didn't realize what was going on, so I didn't tend to it. So it actually gathered up power for a while there before somebody, I don't remember who. Oh, yeah, my friend Tracy. My friend said, hey, maybe you want to check your hormones. And that's when I went and found out, oh, that's what's going on. So I spent a hot while there, really in a bad place, really unable to appreciate just how good I have it. Especially when a whole bunch of stress had popped up it's never a convenient time, is it? I can't really say it was an inconvenient because it's never freaking convenient. Life, right? Life happens to everyone. So I wasn't coping well with a lot of things, and I wasn't able to see the things I should be grateful for. And actually a YouTuber that I do her workout video, she constantly says throughout the video, I'm proud of you. And once I got my hormones in order and then got my psych meds in order, because those decided to kibosh on me at the same time. Once I got myself back in balance, it was easier to start reminding myself that I'm a good person. Don't get me wrong, I'm crabby, bitchy, meany, pissy, I'm Auntie Rose and, thorns, probably more thorns than roses, but I stopped liking those things about me. And that's just, I like me, okay? I really like me. Crabby and all, pissy bitchy. I like that. I like being me. I enjoy myself. So not being able to appreciate that, not being able to appreciate the life I had created to encourage that kind of I wasn't in the right spot. I'm droning on here. I'm trying not to. Sorry, folks. So let's get to the point. The fairy bee, my life is sweet. I'm back at a point where I can realize just how freaking great I actually do have it. I have the ultimate love of my life. I have a good life here. I'm in a good place. Moving on, moving on, moving on. See, I keep trying to not do that with my hand. Ta-da! Once Upon a Midnight Dreary. For those who don't know yet, I'm actually writing a book. I've been a writer for years. I don't have anything really published, some poems here or there, but no, I'm actually writing a book. Actually, I'm writing several books at once because world building is a process. And I know because I did this for over 20 years. I have an online internet text-based, turn-based role play that I've been doing, a whole world that me and several others helped create over the expanse of 20 years. And then I decided one day that I was ready to let that rest. I needed to go in a different direction, and I created another series, another world, except this one I'm not doing with others. I'm trying to do this one on my own. So it's a book instead of a role play. Needless to say, the stop and start is kind of difficult for me. I go through not writer's block, but it's all there. It's just hard to write it down. And this churns faster than I can write it down, so it's hard to retain. And I'm struggling with that. So, Once Upon a Midnight Dreary, creativity, genius, writing, expression, artistic flow. I'm still on the right path. I've been saying for years, as soon as I can actually crank out the book, it'll be great. Like, I know my ability to tell a story. I know my ability to write. Like, there's a reason I'm a dungeon master. There's a reason I'm a role player. There's a reason why I do all this, because I create worlds and people and characters and environments. Like, yeah. So as soon as I get the book out, it'll be even better. I've had multiple readings tell me that's where I got to put my energy. So I can't do it with the other world. I have to do it with this one, which is a shame because everything's freaking written for that world. It just needs to be put in book form. So, but we're going to do this one on my own. Y'all send y'all positive energy to me about me and my book. I like that. Send me the good stuff. I'm writing. It's going to be great. Y'all are going to love it as soon as I get there. Crossing fingers. So that's enough time for me today. I've droned on. I want to go enjoy my lazy day. Y'all have a good Monday. Y'all have a great Monday. Y'all have an amazing Monday, all right? It's a good life. It is. I'm gonna, I'm in a good mood right now, so we're gonna say it's a good life, all right? Y'all just keep saying it to yourself over and over again. All right, so bye, y'all.